Welcome to Soul and Synergy Radio. Soul and Synergy Radio is dedicated to exploring the mysteries of the universe and our place in it. Your hosts, Terry and Danny, are the owners of Soul and Synergy LLC, based in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Each week, they will be delving into topics that are part of the metaphysical and paranormal world, along with spiritual practices that help us connect with our higher selves and tap into the energy of the cosmos. The show will feature interviews with members of the metaphysical and paranormal community, sharing their knowledge and insights with their listeners. Whether you're new to this world or an experienced seeker, Soul and Synergy has something for everyone. Now, your hosts, Terry Flick and Danny Loosemore.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's Danny and Terry with Soul and Synergy Radio. Great to be with you again on this, kind of blustery Friday up here in the Eau Claire area.
Yeah. Well, good morning, Shelley, and good morning, Mary. Thanks for joining us early.
Yes, it's very nice to see that. So we have
Casey's here.
an interesting show today. We have DeEtte Ranae coming on at 10:30 this morning, as well as Tanya Meyer, which is someone probably new for the audience to get to know.
I think, the big audience. The locals probably know Tanya.
Mm-hmm.
She's done work around the Eau Claire area for many years. What is her topic today?
We're going to be talking about cosmic enlightenment and Compassion Key.
Compassion Key. Compassion Key is her modality.
Yes.
So, that is going to be very interesting. I haven't learned a lot about it. And also, we need to welcome Tanya into Soul and Synergy. She'll be doing classes and stuff out of the store. So, that'll be amazing, too. Good morning, Aspen.
Good morning. Hey, so for the first half hour, we're just going to kind of see where this goes.
Right.
We have some topics to discuss. But first, I kind of want to talk about Reiki a little bit.
Yeah.
And in my online magazine as part of Soul and Synergy, and if you want to go to it, you go to the divinationsociety.com. I kind of talk about how Reiki's been important to me in the last week or so with my unfortunate fall,
Yes.
where using Reiki on the injuries have really helped it move along.
Yeah. Well, we can attribute Reiki, and of course, I have to mention the oils.
Yes, essential oils.
The Terra essential oils. I've been using those on his knee every day to help with blood circulation and healing and stuff like that. And but Reiki,
Yeah. So can you kind of talk about what Reiki is? Because, it would help.
I am the worst at talking about what I do, but it truly is taking a class, being attuned to the energy, and then we connect with, I like to say, we connect with the life force energy that's around us all the time, that anybody can connect in on a certain level. It is, we go through the class and we learn how that energy works and stuff, but we also want people to know that you all have this gift. It is not special to anyone. It's just getting attuned to the energy, so it's easier to access, and then you become a channel for it. And literally right now, as I'm talking about, my hands are heating up, and that's all it takes for me. It's just to start talking about it and getting into that energy, and then my body starts heating up. So then what I do is I transfer that energy, or I lay my hands on someone or in the area of their aura, and it just starts flowing. So it flows from me to them, and it's infinite. It knows exactly where to go. It just happens. So once I get the energy started, then the rest of the stuff happens. So it's like, then the psychic stuff starts working. The mediumships kind of works sometimes. I see all sorts of stuff. It's really kind of cool.
Yeah.
Messages come through from from guides or from loved ones. And, you know, when I do the readings and stuff, I connect in with both source, and I also connect in with the Reiki energy because I believe that it amplifies everything else I do. So,
and that's what's interesting about Reiki. You know, we do all have access to energy.
absolutely.
Because we are energy. I mean, scientifically, you can kind of prove that all of us radiate, EMFs,
EMF.
basically. And by going through the process of learning about Reiki, what you're really doing is learning how to focus that energy into to have it do something functional.
Yeah. So people have been like, it's been amazing this week. People have been asking if we'll start doing teachings online. It isn't something we've done, but we are going to. And I am going to schedule an online Reiki class next month for the month of February. And we're going to give it a try and see how it goes. If people are worried about how the attunement works, remember everything is energy. It is, so I do energetic attunements right now. I don't do hands-on for the most part. Occasionally a spirit guides me to do something special in an attunement, I'll do that. But so yeah, in February, we're going to do an online Reiki class. So
yeah, that's pretty darn interesting. I know it's difficult to go from in person to online, and in this world that we're in right now, I think that's something that we really need to embrace. And I'm going to be doing the same thing for upcoming classes for tarot for beginners and advanced tarot, and may even dive into doing some online sessions for our Reiki our tarot share and divination lab. So
let me address something.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So good morning to everyone that's joining us. There's a lot of you, and I'm not able to get up through all the screens, but Aspen, as you complete all the levels, is that when you become a Reiki master. I am only a level 1 at the moment, which I believe is the healing. And there is, well, I say 4 levels because I teach level 1, which you're right, is part of healing yourself and working with your energy and learning how to balance yourself and all those things. Not saying you can't work on other people, but it is primarily to help yourself heal. Level 2 is talking about distance healing, so being able to send the energy precisely where you want it to go at any time. Then level 3 is a master class, and that is the ultimate, the highest level that as far as the Reiki attunements go. And then I teach a level 4, which is learning how to teach other people to do the attunements, to be able to do the classes and stuff like I do at Soul Synergy.
Great. And it is a little bit of a different kind of venue for the online version of things, but it's definitely doable.
Yeah.
And I think once you get the symbols placed inside of you, it's almost like a beacon that says, "I'm here to help," and spirit kind of comes to you at that point and says, you know, they went through the process and made the effort to get attuned to the Reiki energy. So now we know that that's the person to go to when we need them to help with someone.
Yeah. And so as far as costs go, you know, it's $150 per first 2 levels and so on. But you can go to our website and all the pricing and stuff is on there. Diana did her Reiki attunements through Udemy. Udemy is amazing. I did my Lemurian Reiki class through Udemy during COVID, and it was a really good attunement for me. A guy out of Brazil did it, so that was really cool. So I don't say you have to retake the class or do anything like that, but what I would say is you want to get involved with people and practice it. It's nice just to have it and be able to work things, but I really believe practice makes perfect. And when you work with other people, like we do Reiki Share every month, where people of all levels come together and we take turns working on each other, and then I am there to help the newer ones or the ones that don't feel experienced, don't feel like they're getting anything, all that good stuff, and I help to get them in a better place, so to speak. So,
Yeah. And one of the things that I find is very helpful is when you get into Reiki and other types of metaphysical.
Hold on. This is amazing.
What?
Eva, and I'm sorry, Eva, I cannot pronounce your last name, but she says hi from Sweden.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Wow, thank you for joining
Hello.
us.
Wonderful.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. That's pretty amazing. And part of it is when you get into it, immediately your ego is going to start to shut you down to go, this is playtime or make believe or any of those things. And one of the important parts of Reiki and anything in this area is to do your shadow work, to kind of tell your ego, basically kind of tell it where to go. Yes.
Yeah.
Because you kind of have to push that aside and kind of go in a different direction with your ego so that it knows that you're serious about this and this is something that you embrace. Hey, Mary Jo, no, you're not on the wrong chat. We see ya.
Yeah. Diana said, Diana, can you remind us which book we recommended for you? Because, we work with so many people.
So
see when that pops up.
But yeah, shadow work is an important part of it because you want to work through all those things that are negative and kind of telling you that you're not doing it right or whatever, because there is no right or wrong, because it knows based on your intention where to go and what to do.
Oh, look at that.
And we have hi from Ireland.
Hi, Ireland.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hey, thank you for joining us.
So it was The Healing Power of Reiki.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that is an amazing book.
So as far as shadow work is concerned, there are various different classes you can take. You can read up about it. I just did an article in the online magazine about shadow work and ascension, which is it's really all kind of tied together in one way, shape, or form. So
yeah. And so Eva says she's done 2 parts of Reiki and enjoying it. So amazing energies.
Yes.
And there's another thing. So during COVID, we used to do Reiki share on Zoom. And I think because it's not COVID anymore and everybody's able to get out and about, we quit doing that. But that was, it's still connecting with energy. It's still connecting with other people. And no matter where we were or how far away people were, we all, it was amazing for everyone. So.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So it's always good to get together and do those type of things where the healers can heal the other healers.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there's a statement. So as healers, and I'm a big, I'm bad at this because we're so busy with life and, making sure that I have time for my clients and all that stuff. We forget healers need healers.
Yes.
And we forget that we need to go see people or get the energy work done as well to keep us in a higher frequency and to help us stay tuned.
Mm-hmm.
In tune. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
And at Soul and Synergy, our Reiki share is the first Wednesday of the month. So if you're in the area and a Reiki practitioner, please come join us. It starts at 6:30.
Yeah.
And we go until the healing is done. So if you're in the area and want to join us, feel free to stop at the shop the first Wednesday of the month and have some healing with us.
Yeah. Eva asked what type of book we're talking about.
Yeah.
So it is a Reiki book. It is Healing Power of Reiki is the one that we recommended for Diana. Good morning, Tony. Yeah, it is one that I recommend for everybody that likes the book part of it. We keep those in the store. We ship those as well, but you can find them online.
Oh yeah, and with our Reiki courses, we do have workbooks and stuff that we provide as well.
Yeah.
So they have the information there too. But as part of Reiki, and what Terry does so well is that he starts to even channel with it. And I can tell when he's starting to get some messages, and everybody kind of has that little bit of a tell that his hands start to go all over the place, like his hands kind of go like this, and you know that spirit is coming through and about ready to give a message, and everybody has that that kind of thing happening to them when spirit comes through. Courtney, we're in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Yeah. But so go ahead.
And then I start stuttering.
Yes, and then he starts stuttering, and it is the first Wednesday of the month, Mary Jo. That's a really great get together. Sometimes the groups get so big we have to split up the groups into 2 different rooms to do the Reiki share. But it's a great way to really kind of get to know the community of Reiki healers in the area, and it's really, really kind of great. Tony asks, can you choose when spirit comes through?
Absolutely. If you're having trouble with that, it is talking with your guides and setting up boundaries and work times and all those things, because it can get overwhelming. I know when I started doing this, I used to be a school bus driver. I did that for 23 years, and when I first started this, I would be driving down the road and I could feel the connections coming, and and I would see things, and all this weird stuff wouldn't happen. And I'm like, whoa. No, not when I'm behind the wheel. This can't happen, because DeEtte we'll talk with DeEtte a little bit about that as well when she gets on. She's the one that helped. She's one of my mentors, or one of our mentors, and she's the one that said set up those boundaries, set up those work times, so to speak. So spirit knows when I walk into my healing space, game's on, and we go. But when
I know for myself, when I have my tarot cards in my hand, that's my cue to say, okay, spirit, I'm ready to go. But I also put it out there, even like if I'm at work, I'm at work, don't come through unless it's an emergency.
Yeah.
And when it's that type of a situation, it's perfectly okay for spirit to come through and let you know something. But you are able to establish those things. And one of the things that DeEtte brought up in one of our many conversations was asking for a gatekeeper.
Gatekeepers, yep.
Someone that stands in front of where spirit comes through in your energy and only lets through those things that are for your highest good or really need your help. So that's one of the things that is important as well. And DeEtte can talk a little bit more about that as we kind of continue with the show.
Yeah. So I have 2 things going on right now, and this is just really weird. So I was talking about boundaries and shoot. Can you answer that for Jill? She's going to be online.
Okay.
She's trying to get logged into the show. So I just became really sad. Like, I really have this overwhelming emotion of sadness right now. And I'm not sure who I'm connecting with out in the audience. I've asked, nothing is coming through yet. But that's a thing. So, and then I have, like, I'm all frogged up. Like, my throat is just clogging like crazy. So I'm guessing that somebody out there has some speaking your truth stuff that needs to happen, standing in your power and having conversations with that, with somebody that's going to be very hard to do. So, sorry. Thank you. No, it's gone.
Yeah.
So it is truly just talking about it and getting it out there that that's how messages can happen.
Yeah. And one of the things that is part of our show is that if we start getting messages for people in the audience, we'll let you know all about that.
Yep. And I think that's just what happens. So,
yeah. And part of Reiki, I guess you could say, as you're kind of channeling and getting information, it's almost like a form of divination, where you're kind of using your own body as a way to relay information to others. And I've been learning a lot about divination and whatnot, and in writing a lot of my blog and journal magazine posts, and one of the most interesting ones that I came across, it has to do with using animal entrails.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it has a specific name that kind of escapes me at the moment, but you can read in my blog, but it talks about how you use the where the entrails end up as you're doing the weird things to the animal, and as to what it means. And then there's also stuff like called geomancy, which is using the Mother Earth as a way to divinate, and talks about throwing sand, and however the sand ends up in a certain configuration is a great way for that to happen. But we have a question here from Kirsten. I'm curious about the gatekeeper. Is that a spirit you choose? Well, you kind of ask for a gatekeeper to come and to be there for you, be your advocate, whatever it is you want to say, and you'll get the feeling that they're there once they come, and really what's happening is you kind of put it out there to spirit. These are the requirements that I have. Please bring that spirit to me to help me out with that. And when they arrive, you definitely get a feeling that they're there.
Yeah, and the gatekeeper is really good for when you're like doing multiple stuff. So per se, like when I do galleries and things like that, and the energies of all the beings and crossed over loved ones and all that stuff can be too much, and they come in too hard, too fast. And so your gatekeeper is the one that's going to go. So you're going to say, hey, can you straighten them up? And can you get them in a line? And can you get that energy one-on-one? So you're not trying, your body's trying to pick up on 5 energies, when you can only tune into one at a time. Usually you can feel the rest around you, but you can only tune into one, because that's the one that needs to come through first. Yeah.
And there's other psychological type of things that you can do where you kind of set up kind of if you're good at visualization, kind of an office in your mind, and a door that opens and closes, and only one thing can come in at a time to sit down there to talk to you, and kind of use that visualization to only let one thing in at a time. It's just all dependent upon what your way of processing that information works for yourself, and there is no right way or wrong way. It's just whatever works for you at the time.
And you'll find it'll work for a while, and sometimes it'll be like, oh, we need to switch it up, or we need, get so busy we need to have a couple. I don't know, I see a golden gate, and when you're talking about doors, I see a golden gate opening up and letting people through and then closing again. So whatever works for whoever.
Yeah, definitely. And Aspen has a question. I know spirits come forward to us when their loved ones can't be as open at the moment due to their sadness. How would you relay that delicate information to the receiver who may not be so aware of this world?
Oh, those are always fun ones, or tough ones even. So, you know what I would say? What I do at times, well, that just brings me back to a session I had yesterday. So I ask spirit for the words. So I know how I would bring it across, but can you give me the words that I need that will best work for this client or this person that I'm working with? And then I sit with it for a couple minutes, or however long it takes, before I actually deliver the message. So not everything has to be instantaneous. You can work with it. It doesn't have to fly out of your mouth, even though it does happen.
It does happen, yes.
So I want to go up here to Tony. My sister passed away 3 weeks ago. Could she be messing with you? Well, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And one of the interesting things about spirit is because they don't have to be sitting next to us to communicate with us, because it's energy. All they have to do is tune into our radio station and send us a message.
Literally.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
It just depends what we're vibrating at the time.
Yeah, for sure. We have 4 minutes. Wow, this half hour is going very fast.
Yes, I know.
So nice. Got time for one more question here before we go to break. Could be me. I have an internal decision, but no idea where to go with it. Oh. So Courtney, have you worked in meditation?
Yeah, because that seems to be very important for you right now, to kind of block out your internal dialogue and just allow for spirit to come through.
Yeah.
Because one of the most important things that we have to do is, I guess you call light workers or whatever, is to find a way to separate our internal dialogue from our external dialogue that's trying to come through. So that's just the way it is. Oh, can you read each other? That's very interesting, because as much as we work with other people and all that, we really don't do much with each other. I mean, with my injury and whatnot, he's been working on helping me heal from that. But we really don't read each other, because it's hard, because we kind of act as one already and kind of know what to do and when to do it.
Yeah, it's so funny, because when we go for readings, or we were on Christina's show the other night as not as guests, but we were in the audience, and they were doing readings. What was it, with Ranae?
Yeah.
And we did it under Soul and Synergy, so they didn't know which one of us was actually there. And Christina says, "Yeah, I don't know who this is for, but you guys are so tight together that it's probably for both of you anyway. So here's the reading."
Yeah. So and that's just something that is kind of innate in our relationship. It's hard to kind of do that.
Yeah, we've been to galleries where they can't separate us out.
Right.
So yeah.
We're that far intertwined. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. But it is what it is, and that's kind of what we have to deal with. And that's the great part about having both our lives together and our business lives together, is that everything flows so easily. Mm-hmm. You know, it's none of this back and forth kind of, I want this, I want that. It's just,
we have this funny that like, I'll just hand him stuff and he'll look at me like, "What, you think I know what I'm supposed to do with this?" And I'm like, "Yeah." But anyways, so let's go back. Courtney. Overthinker. Oh, we're talking about meditation for her. So, here's a thing I like to try with some of my students, and we'll do this in classes. If you kind of get your room as quiet as possible. I know with 3 kids, it's probably a hard thing to do, but and just turn a fan on. Now, I'm not telling you to turn the fan on so it's blowing on you. I'm telling you to turn the fan on so you can hear the hum of the motor or the noise of the fan. And try just quieting your mind and concentrating on that fan motor. And then when a thought comes in, excuse it, say goodbye, and go back over until you can get your mind quieted enough for the messages to come through. That works really well. And I think I learned that on Abraham.
Yes.
With Abraham Hicks. Yeah. And it works really well for me.
Yeah, definitely kind of focusing in on white noise.
Yep.
And whether that's a fan blowing or something coming out of your phone.
Yep.
It's as long as you start to focus on that, just like you would focus on your breath. And that allows your brain to say, okay, it's time to shut off. And I read recently that there's something called green noise instead of white noise. And green noise, the frequency of it or whatever, actually stops your brain from thinking.
Ooh, I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, and it allows for things to come through. So I would definitely recommend kind of looking into that, because everybody's different in how you connect and how you meditate and all of that. We can just offer what works for us.
Add some more self-care into your life too.
Mm-hmm.
Try to get some Epsom salt baths in, some essential oils going, things like that, because your self-care sucks. Sorry.
That was the message that came through without the delicate thing.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, it does that.
But that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
Well, we are at almost the bottom of the hour here at 10:28, and we have DeEtte Ranae in the wings waiting to come out and say hi. So why don't we go for a little break and then welcome her onto the show?
Perfect. See you in a bit.
The Body Code is a revolutionary method of energetic healing developed by Dr. Bradley Nelson, which allows us to quickly and easily identify specific imbalances that seem to underline chronic ill health, acute and chronic pain, and discomfort, dysfunction, and stress. Ellie energetically connects with the subconscious of the client. Psychic medium Ellie Weisensell is a medical intuitive and energy healer and a certified body code practitioner. She identifies and clears energetic imbalances within the body and energy field. Contact Ellie at the website below, and Ellie can work remotely from a distance, by phone, online, video chat. There's no need to travel to an office. Remember, the body code is safe for humans and animals. Contact Ellie today.
All right, welcome back to Soul and Synergy Radio, and we have one of our longtime friends here waiting in the wings, DeEtte Ranae. She's the myth and the legend and everything about.
It is going places.
Oh, totally going places. So, we would like to welcome DeEtte to our show.
Oh my God, you guys got me laughing.
The myth, the legend. It's DeEtte.
I'll tell you what. If I ever get there, you can put it on my tombstone. How's that sound?
All right.
Perfect.
No, we're all gonna live forever, so you know.
I know. Isn't it great?
And we actually get to see DeEtte on Sunday.
Well, I was just going to say,
Yes!
talking about Sunday.
I am so excited about that. I mean, at first we have to get me over the high of these oils, so just so you know.
Oh, yay. Oh, yeah. DeEtte's in one of the studies for the essential oil classes.
Yeah, I just took my pills. I rubbed it on my feet. By the way, that's like an orgasm in itself, just so you know, because you get it in there and your feet just suck it up. You're like, it's great. And then I just sniffed it. And I'm like, yeah, I went too far. Too far.
Nice. That's amazing. So for those of you that are joining, and DeEtte, we have people like from Switzerland today, and where's the other one?
Sweden and Ireland.
Sweden and Ireland, yeah.
Very nice. Awesome. Awesome.
So this Sunday in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, at the Best Western Plus, is our first, for 2023, is our first wellness fair, kicking off the year. It is ramping up like crazy. People are chiming in all the time on the Facebook stuff. It's going to be an amazing day. DeEtte will be there doing readings. We have Christina Bloom doing the gallery that day. And we have people coming for vendors that Eau Claire has never seen.
All over. I know. I love it.
Yeah. So
love it.
Join us. That would be amazing. But it starts at 10 in the morning, goes till 5 in the afternoon. And I was just at the venue yesterday doing a little setup and setting some energy in there. And yeah, it's going to be an amazing day.
Definitely.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. I can't even tell you. You know, I got my driving shoes on.
Yay! So DeEtte,
come off in the last 5 days, but they're still on.
Right.
So DeEtte, we wanted to bring you on today because we know that when you come on your shows and you do Unfiltered and the other shows on the radio station, that you're mostly just giving messages to other people and all of that. And
Unfiltered, yes.
Yeah, and I'd kind of like it if you use this as a venue to kind of tell us what's going on in your world.
Yeah.
You know, where are you going? Are you traveling to and that kind of a thing.
This is really amping up to be an extremely busy year. And I will tell you what, I have been getting, you know, we're all waiting for that year that something's going to happen. You know, we never know when that's going to be, but we all hope for it. You know, and I always like to say that you never know what happened until after the fact and you're looking back going, wow, where have I come from? You know?
Yeah.
And it's so amazing because lately, it just happened again this morning when an amazing lady by the name of Erica that runs Pensacola in Florida, I get messages like, this is your year. This is your year to be busy. And I'm like, it already is. You know, I'm a headliner at Great Lakes Paranormal Conference that's, you know, later on this year. I'm over at Michigan with you guys. I'm in Vulture City this year. You know, I'm a headliner for Spirits in the Spring, which is in April. You know, I've got a tour over to Ireland, you know, that's in the works. I'm also going over to England this year. That's going, you know, to do some events over there. You know, it's just all over the place, not to mention all your events and venues. And I mean, just, it's crazy, but it's so awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it.
So how do you manage, you know, your personal life, your business life? You have grandchildren that are just beautiful and lovely. I mean, how do How do you even manage it all?
Well, I have amazing friends like you guys, you know, that, you know what, and I will tell you what, that is probably one, my grandchildren are my life, and anybody that knows me or sees me, they are my life, you know, they are my personal life, they are my everything. Um, but I'm really, really fortunate that I have got amazing friends literally all over the world. Everywhere I go, there's somebody, you know what I mean? But you know, I've got special friends like you and Terry that at a moment's notice, I can call you guys in the middle of the night and you're going to answer the phone. You know what I mean? That if I'm breaking down, going, I can't do this, I know I can call you guys, and I know you guys are going to go, come on, DeEtte, you know what? This is your path. This is your destiny. And whether it be a small reading or just assurance from friendship or whatever it is, that's what keeps me going. It really is, because you two have seen me at some of my lowest points. Like this last year, I was doing a lot of shadow work, and here's Danny to the rescue and going, come on, hon, come on, let's pull you together. Let's you just going through some release right now, you know, and that's really how I do it, is to realize that, you know, this is my path. You know, I did a lot of shadow work. I did a lot of deep down work on myself and a lot of looking, and found that, you know what, this isn't my lifetime to, you know, have the family of 50 million grandkids and, you know, be stationary with all this here. This is a lifetime that I'm supposed to go out and help as many people as I can, you know, and help other people to feel normal, that they're not broken in their own shoes. And I accept that. And I mean, that makes me happy. That's a thrill in itself.
Yeah, that's a really good topic. Oh my gosh, I just looked out the window and it's snowing here again, so I'm sorry. But,
Again,
when we talk about releasing and going through crap, I mean, because we go through it. Even, you know, we go through it. You go through it. The best of the best go through it. But you get to a point where, you know, don't feel like you screwed up. Don't feel like life is taking you on a wrong journey. What did I do to get there and all that stuff? You have to go through it. You have to work through it. It is just part of what we do. And, you know, as the vibrations raise on this planet, as we ascend, and all those things are happening, you know, and what are we in right now?
Aquarius.
Aquarius.
Yeah, there we go.
It's my time.
Yeah. It's going to make you face things, and
It
don't
is.
just put it off to the side, because if you put it off to the side, it's still going to be there waiting for you. So
It really
work
is.
through it, you know.
Yeah. And people don't realize, you know, I talk to more people and they're just terrified to make a wrong decision, make that wrong choice.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, you've got, I mean, the good Bible had a lot right, and destiny is one of them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You are going to get to where you need to get no matter what. You have got an agenda in this lifetime. It's going to happen. Your choices really are just which route you're going to take to get to that destined point.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So there really is no wrong choice. There is no, oh my God, I screwed this up, or oh my God, this happened. No, because trust me, you got to get to the train station. You're getting there. You just might go by car, you know, walk, horseback, subway. Who knows? But you're still getting to the train station.
And so when we take that left and it feels like the world is turning on us and everything is wrong, I suggest to people to sit with it for a little bit. You know, tune into it and figure out what direction you need to go. Do I take do I open the door on the left, or do I open the door on the right? And stuff like that, you know. But, you know, it's going to be a little hard, or is it going to be extremely hard? But don't worry about it either way. It just is what it's supposed to be. So
right.
Sometimes the harder it is, the higher my soul is, you know, kind of climbing up the ladder in heaven. Cancel. I've had enough brought on. We're going into easy life for the next 30 years.
Right. Yeah. So what do you do when you're standing next to someone in the grocery store or whatever, and you get something and they say, you need to tell this person something? I mean, do you do it? No,
I don't even open up to hear that.
Okay, so you're closed off. I don't even
open up to. Nope, I shut unless I'm doing a reading, I shut myself down, because I would go crazy. I mean, think about it. I talk to dead people. I walk into Walmart. Y'all brought your friends with you. I would go insane. But what does happen, and this happens every time, I love self-checkout, just so you know, it's my God-sent savior, self-checkout. Because I'm that person who, if I got to stand in line, one and or two or 50 people are going to sit there and tell me their whole life story.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's okay, because that's my energy. I sit down and people, I don't know if they look at my eyes, they talk to my vibe, and before they're done, they literally look at me and go, I have no clue why I just dished all my dirty laundry to you. And that really is in itself what I'm supposed to be doing in that line, not giving a message. Sometimes I'm just there to listen.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree.
And that's actually an important topic that we were talking about before you came on, is that our conversation that we had, I believe it was over dinner in Rhinelander, about how to kind of find a gatekeeper for yourself. So can you kind of talk about how you found your gatekeeper?
They always show up, which is really cool. We're always on this lookout for guides. You know what I mean? So my first thing to tell everybody is, if you ever sit down with a medium or psychic and they go, oh my God, you have so many guides. Excuse my language, but look back and say, no shit. I've got a big one. It takes a lot of people to harness and guide this soul around. That's why I come with a ton, and so doesn't everybody else. Guides, but in that aspect, guides come to us. You know, I knew when I came into this lifetime, I was going to be a medium. It's something I've done in several lifetimes. It's one I'm doing in this one. I'm just kind of perfecting it a little bit more, whatever the case might be. You know what? So my gatekeeper guide, which is really it's my bouncer. It's my bouncer for the other side. You know, so my gatekeeper is really just keeping everybody away from me. You know, it's forming a waiting room for, you know, loved ones that's passed. It's done all that type of stuff. And honestly, they just show up. They're there. They're just waiting for you to be ready for them. You know, the other side, they came with your rule book. That manual your parents said you weren't born with, you were. They're harnessing it on the other side. So they're like, we need to know more than you do. You're only dealing with her for 18 years. We got her for like 80, you know? That's really what it's about. So it's when you're ready, they show up. And you don't get to choose who that gate. You're not going to choose who your bouncer is. You know, I mean, you're just going to get who you get, and it's awesome. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that. And a lot of times, like I'll just go, all right, guys, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Fix it.
Yeah.
And
I just had a morning.
Smooths out, and we're able to tune in again.
And that's just it. You know, I mean, I did that, and I'll go back to talk about that this morning a little bit, because that's what I do. Somebody taught me that not that long ago, that she's like, she has in her mind, she has a board table, you know, a boardroom table, and all of her guides sit around it. And I went, well, I want a round table. I don't want anybody supersede, because I'm just the legs here. You know what I mean? Everybody else is on the other side, and we all have our own jobs. I'm just the one with the feet on the ground here. So I literally had a meeting this morning with my guides at the round table. And I said, you know what, guides, I need this, and this, and y'all need to make it happen, because I'm only here. And I went, I need answers, and I need answers fast. Yep. You know what I mean? And I'm not shitting. I'm going to read this text to you. I'm going to read this text, because y'all are going to be blown away. Now, I had this little meeting about 9:30 Central Standard Time. Okay. I gotta get into Messenger. This was been so much more brilliant if I was ready, right? At 9:30 is when I said this prayer. They waited until I got out of the shower and blew dry my hair. It says, the message I got was, this is a great time. I was sending it says, wait a second. Someone told me to tell you this, is what it was. This year, accomplish your goals. Jump out from the closet, ask for it. You deserve it. You will command it. Also, stop thinking so small. Hugs. And I went, oh, whoa, guys, you work fast on the other side. You work fast. You know what I mean? And that's how it works. And people don't realize that. I think we walk around thinking we don't have these guides, or we don't have this team. But really, when you put it out there and you open up your eyes to whatever the message might be, they're giving the answers all the time, and they're quick. I mean, I had a whole board team. I mean, I had a lot of them had to get together and have to discuss on the other side, what the hell are we going to tell this woman this time? You know, and from give me the message, you know, that really barely knows me. So, you know what? It's just sit back, ask, and wait for it.
So, people say, I don't see him, I don't hear him, I can't talk to him. I'm like, you don't have to.
You're talking to him all the time.
Yeah.
When you're talking in your head, who do you think you're talking to?
Oh God, yeah, all the time. I always love to use it. You know what? I mean, any woman, and I'll tell you a lot of men these days because men are brilliant bakers and cooks. But you know, everybody wants to make grandma's recipe. That recipe that was never written down anywhere because grandmas are brilliant and they took their secrets with them to the grave. And if you didn't listen, screw you. You're never having her cookies ever again. End of story. But what happens is they start to make that cookie recipe and they're making it and they're making it, they're making it. They never get it right. And finally one year they're like, Grandma, oh my God, help me. I'm never doing this again if it does. And you're doing it and all of a sudden you're here and put the mustard in and you're like, and you minorly put mustard in, whatever it might be. And next thing you know, they get done, you take a bite and you're like, Grandma's cookie. It was when you finally paid attention, you just let it in. And that's how spirit works. They're in there.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting goosebumps like crazy. My spine is tingling. This is amazing. Thank you.
And I know for me, you know, being homebound now, and Mr. Terry has to go off and make the donuts. You know, I was sitting in here. I was rolling my wheelchair down the hallway going, you know what? I haven't heard or seen another human being in like 2 or 3 days. And I was feeling kind of lonely. And not 5 minutes later, I was getting texts and messages on Facebook Messenger from people checking in with me, you know, and all of that. So it really is an amazing thing. And I just had to look up and go, wow, you guys are awesome.
Yeah.
You know, because it just really helped at that moment in time. And it's such that we're kind of tuned into that happening. So we recognize when those things are going on, but someone who isn't necessarily in this world would say, okay, that's coincidence or that just was chance, that kind of a thing. But really it wasn't.
Right.
No,
not at all. Not at all.
It never is.
Nope. I love going for drives. And we do this in the summertime where we'll just set at the end of the driveway and do we go left or right?
Mm-hmm.
And whatever feels good, that's the direction we go. And we end up in some of the most beautiful, and I continue that. And some of the most beautiful places. Maybe today is a lake I need to visit, or maybe it's
a waterfall,
or Shopko. Well, one Shopko was Shopko.
Yeah,
you know?
I love that. I teach people that. Go on that journey in spirit, lead it. It's so brilliant.
It does a couple of things for us. It gives us to really beautiful places, and for the people that don't trust in spirit yet, it gives them that little work that helps them to start trusting in spirit more.
Yep. And that's just, and it helps you to start opening up your eyes to signs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, and it's so weird how it happens. Oh, an eagle just flew by. It's so weird how it's weird. One of my numbers is 144.
Okay.
And when I graduated from college, I had to do a year internship before I could ever get my license. And my code for work was 144. Well, that number followed me all the way to this day. And whenever anything's coming up, a car will pass by with the license plate 144, or it's 144 in the afternoon and a friend starts texting me. And, you know, it just kind of is the sign for me that everything's going to be okay. You know, so we all have signs that are tailored for us based on what we recognize. So if spirit knows that for me, 144 means something to me, they will direct my attention to that number to let me know that everything's okay.
Exactly.
Do you have one for yourself that?
No, I don't. I honestly will look at like yesterday I knew I had to make a phone call and out of nowhere I seen 1717 and I'm like, I'll look it up right now because that's how numbers come to me. It's like literally before I have to do something and it's always like repeat numbers 1717 444. I get a lot of repeats, a ton of them, but I don't get the random like right now 1049. I wouldn't look up that number because it doesn't pop to me.
Right.
But I get a lot of them in other ways, and I look it up, and it's like it's right. It's never wrong. It's never wrong.
Yeah. And mine are always parts of phone numbers that meant something to me in my lifetime.
Oh,
like
really?
I'll be driving down the road and 353 will be there, and that was the first 3 digits of my town that I grew up in, and then the last 4 digits of phone numbers and all that kind of pop up, and it's things that spirit knows you'll recognize. that really makes a difference. And I really do kind of like the whole concept of angel numbers, kind of for that reason, because if you look it up and you go, oh yeah, that's exactly what I'm going through right now.
Yeah.
And it's really kind of a way to steer us in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Do you have any numbers?
I get 111 is the one that pops up for me a lot.
Beginnings.
The triple singles like 333, 444, those kind of things pop up a lot. And do I know the meaning of them all? No, but I just say thank you. I'm paying attention. What's next?
Yep. 111 is all about new beginnings. New beginnings. I know I just moved into a 1 year.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last.
Yep. That's kind of why we talked about doing this radio show. How long have we been talking about doing it?
Yeah.
And so
I'm telling you, I am so in love with you guys doing this. You don't even know. Let's go back. What's it been? 2 years?
Yeah, probably 2 years.
I've been begging you guys to start. Come on, start. And then you chose my birthday to start. I was like,
I was just going to say that. Yep, your birthday. And how we picked that was, well, so this is Terry. Everything has to kind of roll and do things in the right way and all that kind of stuff because, well, one, I'm a Libra, and the other is I just like it to do that. Tanya's okay. And so I said to Ellie, I said, can you do the numbers for me? We're looking at January and see what that feels like. These are the 2 days I'd like to try and do the radio show. And the 20th?
Yeah, the 20th.
The 20th is what came in. And I'm like, oh, cool. Then that's why we went with it,
So then the 20th was in the new moon.
Mm-hmm.
It was your birthday.
My birthday was lunar.
A comet was passing by that day.
Mm-hmm.
And just all these things started to add up, and I kept going, Terry, this is happening, and Terry, this is happening, and they're like, oh my God, the 20th, and it's going to be a great day,
Yeah, I mean, I woke up to the lunar New Year, and I went, what? Oh my God! And we just flipped into the year of the time of Aquarius, and so much. And Martin Luther King's observation day is that day, and you know what I mean. So many.
It was a
phenomenal day, and I traveled, with a 5-year-old across country. Yes,
it's a great day. Great, yeah,
I did. And you know what? That was for me to start some of my biggest parts for the rest of my, the next stage of my life. So,
yeah.
So, but
I just looked over at Alexa, and the words across it was, "Who's in your room?"
Dawson, I'm in here. The baby's left to Paw Patrol.
Oh, nice.
He's ready to rock.
Are you going overseas?
I'm in here. I am twice.
Okay,
twice.
When you doing that?
Okay, well, let me see. Is Canada considered overseas too, or no?
Let's just say out of the country.
Okay, out of the country. So I am actually working with a friend that lives in Canada to do a gallery up in Canada. She's testing the waters at a new venue that we're going to get a grandbaby pretty soon here. We're testing the waters right now because she's got an event to see how that plays. If that works, we're going to be looking at Canada in the springtime. We're, people are the Ireland tour. We're doing the, I believe it's the north side of Ireland tour. I'm doing that at the end of September, walking into August, or walking into October is what it is. So it's like 10 days. So we're touring that. That is actually going through Secret Ireland tours. So a lady runs that. She just asked me to be an ambassador. So we're going to go do this amazing tour. And when we're there, I'm going to talk to the ruins and talk to the energy and do readings for people and just healings. And just because I'm also a Reiki master, and just have a lot of fun, so it's kind of like, it's a vacation for me too, just to do what I do, you know what I mean? And love doing that. And then in November, the first week in November, I'm supposed to be going over to England, where I'll be doing with Carrie Standfast. I think we're doing 2 galleries. We're doing 2 paranormal journeys into some old places over there, which is really cool. We're going to teach a day workshop, which is really awesome. We're going to do things in Essex and in London. And then, hello, baby. And then we're going to go down. She's taking me down to Hogwarts because everybody's got to see Hogwarts. And it's Arthur Finley, just for me to go. You know, I've already said I'm afraid to walk into Arthur Finley because I know I'd cry. I'd cry if I had to take. I mean, I have got amazing friends. I've gone there, and I'm like, I'm an American medium. You know what I mean? That's what it is. But I get to go there and watch them do demonstrations, which is just it's going to be a bucket list thing. So those tended to, and then I've got a trip to Mexico with a 5-year-old. You know that.
Wow.
And you know what? I will tell you what. Doesn't matter where her and I go in the world. I always end up working somewhere, so she'll take a nap and I'll do reading. So I guess technically that's another place. But yeah, Mexico also. But that one's supposed to be fun.
Mhm.
So.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. We talk about that too. It's like when we go places on vacation, like, are you leaving the laptop at home? Nope.
Yeah. Never do, because it's always when I'm en route. Somebody's always messaging.
Yeah.
You know, it's usually the same person, which I just think they got amazing radar, because then we wait until she goes to bed and then we do like a 2-hour reading. It's awesome.
Yeah. It is cool. It is cool.
That's wonderful.
I just want to ask you, because our first half hour we talked about Reiki a lot.
Okay.
And so do you believe that after your attunements, your connection with spirit got better?
I don't take this in a wrong manner. Please don't. I call Reiki the gateway drug to spirituality.
I do too.
I mean, I do. And because I think it's amazing. I love Reiki. Don't get me wrong. I love Reiki. I think it helps so many. It is so vast. But I do believe people that are destined to this path, even ones that have been, you know, unless you've been really kind of like into it your whole life, Reiki is a great place to start because it's tangible. It really is tangible.
Mhm.
It's untangible until you're attuned, and all of a sudden your hands got like fire. You know, like you're one of the Marvel twins or something. You know, and you start to feel it, and then it's tangible to you because you can feel it. You know.
Yes.
But when you start to open up to that process, you know, it's like, oh, you know, I got sparks coming out my hands, which is awesome. But then you open up to the process, and then all of a sudden you start getting information. You know, it just starts coming in, and it's pretty amazing. So I honestly do think it's a great way to get started because it's simple, it's easy. You know what I mean? It doesn't take much to become Reiki. It takes a lot to become a master of it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Even though you can go through the training to become a master, I think it takes a lot to become a master of it. And the closer you get to that master journey, I think the more information that's going to come in. So I really do believe it's a great way to get started.
I agree.
Definitely.
3 minutes with her yet. What else we want to talk about? We only have 3 more minutes.
Do you have any other announcements that you want to share with the audience?
Oh my God. Yes. Monday morning, my radio show. I don't know how many people are paranormal, but I got Brian Cano coming in. This man's a rock star. Yes, Brian's coming in. I'm so excited for that. I brought my book out just in case. So Brian Cano's coming in Monday for my show, which is awesome. I'm like so excited for that. Going to be a great show. I am with you guys on Sunday at the Best Western, which is super cool, and looking forward to so many other events out there. I do have beginner psychic mediumship development going on and intermediate that just started. Matter of fact, I got 2 times each week for both classes because people needed more times. So it's not too late to register for either one of those classes if people want to take them online.
And I have taken them, so I will be your testimony. They are amazing.
I love it. So isn't Danny though? So he's taking the. You did the in-person one, whether you like.
Yes, I did the in-person one.
Which was awesome. So, and then I do have 2 dates that are going to be in person for my beginners, for those people that rather be in person. So it's February 19th, I think. Oh my God. I want to make sure. Yes, February 19th, I will be doing beginners in person in Janesville at Earth Song. And March 26th, I believe it is, I'll be doing it in person in Hayward, Wisconsin. Yes, Hayward, Wisconsin on March 26th. And I also have a live gallery happening. Guess where I'm going back to, guys? Hamburg.
Really?
Going back to Hamburg. I'm so excited for that.
You're only like 20 minutes away from us, or half hour.
I know. I love Hamburg, guys. I can't even tell you. There's a gallery going on there. I don't know all the details. It's all behind there. I do know what's happening that night. And I do believe it's from 5:30 to 7:30 if that doesn't change. I will tell you guys, it is a small location. It is, I mean, you can, this is even less of a blink. So if you blink, you're missing the place. So
Exactly.
you know what? This is even shorter. It's a very, very, very small place, but it fills up. It's insane. It fills. You know, the first one was at a tavern there. And I'll tell you what, it was literally standing room only with me sitting around screaming, you know, because so many people showed up and they're having it at a bigger venue this time. And I can't wait to be back.
I can't believe there's a bigger venue in Hamburg.
There is. I know. I was like, really? So I can't wait.
Sweet. Well, it's 11 o'clock. Thank
Awesome.
you.
And I got a naked boy saying, here I come.
Oh, no.
Good time to take us out, Todd.
Love you.
You guys.
We'll be back with Tanya here in a minute.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you have a set of dowsing rods or a pendulum lying around, then learn how to use them. WLTK-DB Talk Radio is hosting a divination and clearing class Saturday, February 11th, 2023. This is an online event and seats are limited. Registration deadline is February 5th. In divination and clearing, you will work with certified psychic mediums Ellie Weisensell and Stephanie Lynn to learn and deepen divination techniques using dowsing rods and pendulums. They will also work to help teach you to use divination practices to clear and release negative energies. To register, contact the station or register online on Eventbrite. Tickets are a staggering value at only $125 each. Register now and join the class online Saturday, February 11th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. The Divination and Clearing class. Tickets on sale now.
Hey guys, so Danny had to step out for a little bit. He's going to take care of some stuff and then he'll be back. So let's welcome Tanya.
Hi, Terry.
Good morning, dear. How are you?
Morning. I'm great. How are you?
We're awesome. Danny will be back with us in a couple minutes.
Okay.
And of course, you guys have been communicating on the show and what's going on. I hadn't been part of that, so I'm going to wing it for a little bit here, and so we can see what happens. So tell me, so they want to know more about your modality. This is what's coming through right now. So let's talk about your modality and how it works for people.
Well, I have kind of a few different modalities that I've cultivated over the last few years. And just recently, I've kind of woven them all together into a practice which I'm calling cosmic embodiment.
Cosmic embodiment. All right.
Yep. So cosmic is actually an acronym for compassion, organic sound, movement, and intentional creativity. So last year, I got certified as a Red Thread intentional creativity guide and circle leader. And through my art and through that practice, I was guided towards pursuing Compassion Key.
Okay.
So Compassion Key is one of the main things that I am offering in the community now, in addition to intentional creativity and healing workshops and empowerment circles. And I really would like to kind of share my voice about what Compassion Key is, because not many people have actually heard of it.
Yeah, please do.
Compassion Key is actually a very simple technique and modality that we use for healing the wounded aspects of ourselves. So the wounded inner child. It also works with traumas from this lifetime, including past life traumas, karmic imprints. So all of the imprints that we carry forward in our DNA that actually affects how we view reality through our lens of perception. So we go in and we find your focus of whatever that is that's causing suffering, and we bring it to the surface. And essentially, I guide you through a process of healing it with compassion. So it allows you to release and shift it, and that brings in more light so you can express yourself more clearly, authentically, and be able to see more joy, more peace, more abundance, improved health, and overall improvement in your relationships.
So since you started doing this, how has it changed your life?
Well, I first ran across, I didn't have any intention of actually becoming a practitioner. But when I started, I went through a training, or not a training, a free session. And the results that I experienced for myself were, I can't even describe it, magical. I felt so many layers of my own being shifting. And then I was able to become more aware of how my own blockages, including my ancestral blockages, were actually playing out in my daily life, which caused repeated patterns. It brought to the surface wounds that I didn't even realize that I had. Lots of past life stuff comes up, planetary stuff. Sometimes I take people all the way back to Atlantis and Lemuria and other universes, because we carry thousands of years of imprints forward in our DNA.
Oh, I can't wait to try this. This sounds so exciting.
Yeah, I know when I reviewed your website and all of that as we were beginning to talk, it's just so amazing, the information about this kind of modality and how it can really be helpful to others, that I thought perhaps this would be a great venue for you to kind of talk about that kind of stuff.
Well, I'm so grateful that you invited me to be here.
Did you talk about yet location and how to?
So when you had to step out real quick, I just jumped in and got her started. So I didn't really go over everything.
Okay. So part of this is like really to kind of let the public know about you as a person and what you have to offer and your business and all of that. So if you want to talk a little bit about that.
Well, as I kind of explained in the beginning, I have recently coined the term cosmic embodiment.
Yes, that was awesome.
So cosmic stands for the compassion, compassion key part of it. Organic sound, because I have woven sound frequency into my compassion key sessions to kind of make it more powerful. And with the addition of this sound frequency, I got a space chime. And when I started using the space chime, I was quickly made aware of that this was also a gift of mine. So when I use this chime, it actually facilitates us to go right down to that cellular, that DNA level. And it actually activates the DNA, restructures the DNA, and helps to unwind any of the trauma that's stored in our DNA.
Mm-hmm.
So along with the compassion, you get the sound and the DNA restructuring, kind of making it a very powerful session. In addition to that, I'm also an intentional creativity guide and a very prolific visionary artist. You can probably see one of my paintings.
Yes. Beautiful.
That's one of my paintings behind me. That was also a journey that I had started about 2 years ago through Musea Online University. And when I started the intentional creativity process, I was really learning how to connect with spirit, connect and bring through the messages that are being reflected in my art. And my art actually guides me almost on a daily basis in the direction that I'm heading. So it's through my art that it kind of led me to Compassion Key.
Yeah, we have a question here from Lisa Holland Bowles. Sorry if I mispronounced that. But she's asking you if that painting, if that's your guide.
That's one of my guides. This painting actually started back in 2017 when after I had left a 17-year career in nursing, I decided to delve into art. So through my art, I knew I was expressing myself and actually the collective energy that was around me. And through the years, this painting has kind of evolved. And when I started Musea, it turned into a painting called Fearless Leadership. Because I know that I'm meant to be a leader in what I'm doing. I know that I'm powerful and that, I can essentially create miracles. So the art actually guides me. And I have multiple pieces. I think, during COVID, it actually wasn't a negative thing for me because I was actually able to sit with myself, take the time I needed, and I probably created 20 or 30 paintings over the course of COVID, all using the intentional creativity process. So this one is very important to me as a guide. I've had some clients that will actually stand in front of my art, and I can watch them stand there, they connect with it, and they actually go through a full body healing process just by connecting with the art. So I know that the energy and the consciousness within my art is healing for others just by being a witness to it.
Right.
So that brings up a good question. So can you do specific art for specific people?
Like spirit paintings.
Spirit paintings to take home, hang in their house to help that healing continue.
Absolutely. And also over COVID, I've done a number of paintings, mainly for people. The people that come to me for this kind of art is the loss of loved ones. So I'm able to channel their loved ones and bring it through in the art. I also can intuitively create a piece of art specifically for whoever's asking for it to help bring through and connect them with their own higher self messages through the art piece.
Nice.
Yes, and I don't know if you can see the comments at all, but there's people saying how magnificent your art is and all of that. So you're getting some love from the audience for your artistry.
Thank you very much.
Is your art for sale?
Yes, it certainly is for sale. I don't have it in any galleries at the current time. It mainly is just I sell through posting it in my social media feeds. I do have an upcoming art show at Artisan Forge Studio called Constellations. So I'm part of their new theater production that's going to be happening there. So my art will be on a few pieces of my art will be on display there from February 9th through the end of March.
Nice.
That's very awesome. So in the classes that you kind of provide, do you work with painting as part of your classes or that you offer?
Well, I'm very multifaceted as far as that goes too. I offer one-on-one. For example, right now I'm working with a 24-year-old autistic gentleman on a weekly basis, and we work in creating art using intention. And the results that I've seen from him, he started out with me as essentially pretty nonverbal. And then as our weeks went on, I saw him really opening up. And now he was able to start speaking to me in sentences, and we sing together.
Awesome.
So the intentional creativity process and being able to express yourself through the art is also super powerful. So I do offer one-on-one intentional creativity sessions. I've done group workshops. For example, I've done drum painting. I've also, last fall, I did a womb activation and creatrix activation workshop where we did a powerful circle and then we all painted together on the same canvas for a healing process and activation. So there's so many different facets of what I offer, and I can certainly cultivate any kind of workshop, painting workshop. Whoever's looking for that kind of thing, I can cultivate it exactly for what they're looking for.
Nice. Yeah.
I just got a vision for you, and it just hit me. And this is going to sound so weird.
Nothing's weird. There is nothing weird in this world, believe me.
But I just saw you as part of doing some pregnancy kind of a thing where you're working with the expectant mothers and all of that, and putting a painting on their belly in henna, and drawing a sacred symbol in henna over that area, and doing some kind of healing, some sort of spiritualness with that type of henna over, and because it'll stay for a while. And I just saw that just flashed in my mind as something that I was seeing you doing as part of your gift. So take it as you will. But I just got that flash in my mind of you doing that to mothers to be, and as part of their spiritual awakening, or whatever you want to call it, blessing of their children
And the baby itself.
of the baby and all of that. So I just saw that for you. So
well, that's interesting that you brought that up, because a number of my clients, we end up going, my art over the last 2 years, just for my own personal healing, has taken me to the womb space, because we carry the mother and the father wound forward into our life, and it starts in the womb.
Right.
So a lot of my sessions go straight to the womb. So it's interesting that you brought that up.
Yeah, it's just a flash I got of you doing a ceremony and with a bunch of people, and drawing that henna artistry over the belly area, and I can just see it right there. So
Well, I appreciate your intuitive wisdom coming through.
I think it could go even as far as clearing out stuff for the fetus.
Right.
For
the baby. You know.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, part of my mission really is to heal and to facilitate healing, not only for ourselves, but for the future generations. Because once we can clear and heal the future generations, the vibration of the planet is going to keep raising, and the consciousness is going to raise, and we're going to be able to evolve into a higher, less oppressed state of being.
And what better way to do that than with an unborn child, and they have no ego, they have nothing, that they can just release that so instantaneously, and working from that point forward and giving them such a great jump start into life.
Wow. Well, thanks for throwing that out there.
That's very
cool. But yeah, so I kind of also contacted you because you were looking for a place to kind of perhaps do some of your work in. And what kind of stuff do you have in mind?
Well, like I had said, I do a number of things.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in leading intentional creativity circles and art circles, as well as just empowerment circles, where we create a safe space for people to be able to express themselves in a safe container, because sometimes all you need to do is express yourself in order for it to be released. So we've created, being a red thread intentional creativity guide, that creates that container for that healing to happen. And red thread, have you guys heard of the red thread?
I have not.
No.
So the red thread has been around for centuries, and it actually is woven through many different cultures. Often it's recognized as a symbol of connection, a symbol of protection, a talisman. And when I think about the red thread, I always go to the womb or the umbilical cord, because that is our connection to our mother, right? It's the red blood that feeds us, but it also references the stars, because when stars die and explode, they release red iron oxide to the earth.
Oh, wow.
And our blood contains red iron oxide. So it just shows you how intricately weaved we are with the cosmos and the earth in this physical form.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we are the universe. We are the four elements. We are pretty much God, or the expression of God in the universe and in the flesh. And that's really something definitely to be honored and worked with.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Definitely. Yeah. But one of my questions that I kind of had, and I don't know if you covered this with him before I showed up, but at what point in your life did the spirituality switch on? Because a lot of times people who come into this area have gone through some really hard times or a trauma or something like that, and all of a sudden Spirit said, here's a gift for you that you can use to help others. So what was kind of your foray into this area?
Well, I will say that it has been a very rocky road for me. And I'm going to say I've turned my mess into my magic over the years. But it really began like the end of 2011 when I attended my first spiritual fair and was just kind of exposed to the metaphysical and the higher aspects of spirituality, because I had been raised a Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that it felt entrapping to me. When I talk about it, I feel my voice kind of already shutting down.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have much of a religion or spirituality. I just trudging forward as a nurse, raising my family, doing the best I could. And I went to this spiritual fair, and that kind of sparked me to go on and get Reiki certified. So in 2012, I got Reiki certified. And at that time, I wasn't surrounded by a supportive network of people. My family wasn't supportive of me. I was often called crazy. My partner would call me crazy. And it just turned into I was starting to see how toxic it was for me to kind of stay where I was. Well, fast forward, I kind of trudged along, just doing my own personal development and, reading up on spirituality. And in 2015, I was actually involved in a traumatic car accident, which I hit my head and had a lot of trauma as a result of that. But the bright thing that came about is all of this art started kind of pouring out of me, mainly in the form of sacred geometry, mandalas. I knew that my art was a portal for my own healing and for higher conscious energy to move through. So I ended up getting out of the toxic relationship as a result of that car accident. And about a year later, I had to get out of nursing. It was killing me because all of the knowledge and all of the wisdom that I had come to learn, I wasn't able to express it in the Western medical world. So I was frequently shut down with me wanting to bring these new concepts and this idea of you can't just heal the physical. You also need to look at the mind and the emotions and the mental part of it as well, incorporating spirituality so we can become more whole. So I decided that I was going to quit nursing and be an artist and be a spiritual artist and, share Reiki with people. Unfortunately, I didn't have the proper support systems in place in order to do that. So I had many rock bottom times, and I kept going forward because I knew that I was on the right path. It didn't matter how hard it was. I knew I was on the right path. Fast forward up to 2020, when I discovered Musea, started doing my art with intentional creativity, which led to Compassion Key, which brings me up to now in this cosmic embodiment.
Awesome.
That's beautiful.
That's a beautiful story. It's a familiar story to a lot of people in the spiritual area, but you're getting comments about how strong you are in the comment section, from the viewers and appreciating your story there. And Mary here is even saying she understands the Catholic aspect. It was tough on her and very tough to overcome. And it's kind of sad because spirituality, and religion and all of that kind of are like oil and water sometimes, and how you can transcend above the structure and the framework of religion into spirituality, and that's really kind of freedom.
But and this kind of ties in, Tanya's story ties in with what we're talking with DeEtte a little bit about our journeys and knowing that there's going to be rough times and there could be even rougher times, but if and it feels right and you just keep doing it and you keep working it, and they'll show you where you need to go, and you got it, and it came through for you.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
2023, I'm still working on sharing my own voice and putting my actual being out to the public. You know, I have no problem sharing my art and my written word and everything, but actually being seen has been something that I've been working to overcome because I've been so suppressed and shut down by the other people in my life. I was even told when I left nursing that I burned my bridge and was destroying my life by
Yay!
pursuing like, well, yes, I did, because it wasn't my bridge. You know,
Right.
I needed to create my own bridge and connection to spirit and listen to my heart instead of the mind control of, you know, my surroundings.
Yeah.
And I know that not just for myself, but the audience too. And I think the world's been waiting for you, and it's been waiting for what you can provide to us as a service and as a gift, and to share your gifts with others. So I'm really happy that you decided to be on the show today to kind of express those things, because I think this is the one of the steps for you to kind of keep moving forward.
I agree. So we have 5 minutes left and you can stay longer if you'd like, but I want to put an invite out. So
Sure.
Sunday is our show here in Eau Claire at the Best Western Plus. It is a spirit fair, metaphysical wellness fair.
Which you've probably been to.
You've been to those, yeah. Let me invite you to a booth, and you can come and you can bring some artwork, and just, you don't have to do healings, but just talk to people and let me help you open that up a little bit, and, you know, be able to communicate with the people that are coming through.
Wow. Well, that's certainly a very generous offer. As of right now, I don't have anything planned for Sunday.
Perfect.
So why don't we work offline to?
Yeah, let's touch base and let's get you set up. And then the people, you know, we have people on today that are watching from Ireland and Sweden. So knowing that our show goes all over the world,
multinational.
So let's talk about how they get a hold of you.
So the easiest way to contact me is probably through my website, which is www.divinelight77.com. And it's got a platform there where you can set up a free discovery call with me. Or if you know that this is something that you want to do, you can just go ahead and schedule a Compassion Key session with me. If you're looking for more of the cosmic aspects or the art aspects, then I would recommend that you do a discovery call so we can chat about exactly what it is you're looking to heal.
Nice.
Courtney says, yeah, you made her not feel crazy anymore.
Nice. Yeah.
It's great that you're having such profound effects on our audience as well. So that's wonderful.
Todd, are you able to put that link up? Let's see what he comes up with. We're going to try and get your link up on our chat.
Great.
Oh, he said, yep. So he'll put the link up for everybody to see. And also, the audience can also find Tanya's information on our website for Soul and Synergy Radio. If you go to soulandsynergyec.com and use the menu to go to Soul and Synergy Radio, you'll find links to her website and to her Facebook page.
I have a Facebook page. I have an Instagram that I'm not really fully active on, but that's also Divine Light 77. And I have a art Facebook page called Portals of Light. And I also have a business webpage on Facebook called Divine Light Energy Connection.
Okay, well, we'll make sure to add that to your bio in our website for today's episode. So give you some advertising there as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it'll be great. We'll connect up and get you set up for Sunday. And that'll be amazing. So
let's see where it goes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. So I think next on our agenda, I think we had dragon readings in the last half hour of our show. Perhaps we can do that for the last half hour here.
Oh, you're fun.
I just want to say it's so interesting that you're doing dragon readings right after this, because about a year ago, another part of my activation is I started diving into the Sophia Code, Have either of you heard of the Sophia Code?
No.
No.
So it's a book by Kaya Ray, and it's a living transmission from the Sophia Dragon tribe. And
Ooh.
they're living transmissions from all of the divine feminine goddesses along with the dragon tribes. So since I've done those activations, I have easily been able to connect with these divine feminine aspects, and dragons have been coming through in
Wow.
my work.
Nice.
Amazing.
Oh, I just wrote that book down.
Well, since we're talking books, I'll also tell you another book that has been a pivotal guide for me in the last year. I've done so much work in the last year. The Gene Keys by Richard Rudd.
Okay.
Have you guys heard of the Gene Keys?
No, I haven't. Have you?
No.
No. You're opening us up to a lot of good stuff. Thank you.
You're welcome. The Gene Keys is a book that is kind of based off the I Ching as well as human design. So you plug in your astrological information and it brings up, it's a 64 patterns of the human DNA that we carry forward. And when you put your information in, it actually gives you a blueprint of what gene key patterns are part of you. And it reviews like your shadow, what your gift is, what your CD is, so your ultimate embodiment of your divinity. And it goes over your life's work, your evolution, your purpose, and it kind of creates a golden spiral pathway of really diving deep into who you are and what you're bringing forward.
So remember, did you take the class with us?
I was just
Yeah, I
thinking
was going
about
to say that. Back at Solstice.
Yeah, there was a class, I think maybe you did, where we had these see-through sheets of paper where we kind of drew off the cards. Was that you?
Yeah, I did a sacred geometry.
I still have it on my refrigerator.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit more about what we did that night?
That was Arcturian sacred geometry codes that we did.
Okay.
Okay.
So we chose the keys that most resonated with us, and then we created our own drawing of these keys.
Yes.
And does what that book we just had up there, does that kind of play into that a little bit?
I'm sure it probably does. This is as we know, everything weaves together.
Yeah, everything kind of ties together.
The gene keys, though, gets really specific on things. So when you get to know who you are and what patterns you hold within your genes, you can easily discern, oh, I'm hanging out with my shadow. What do I need to do to transform that back into my gift? Because it guides us. Because, we all have shadow and we all want to bring in more light, but we have to actually bring those shadows to the surface to know that they exist.
Yep.
Right.
And to be able to work with them and maybe push them away and get rid of them.
Well, I don't see necessarily pushing them away. I see more so accepting it for what it is, and letting it rest. And it's almost when they talk about shadow, we're kind of integrating it into yourself, so you recognize those parts of you, but you don't feel shame or guilt about any of those things as well.
Okay, that makes sense. Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah. Is there any questions? I can't see that side.
Oh, your bifocals, trifocals not working?
Yeah, because you're in my spot.
No, I think we have some good comments about the gene keys are fantastic. That you're an amazing resource, and we have Melanie, who is one of our new friends at Soul and Synergy. She says, what an amazing resource you are. I'm so curious to dive into this idea of intentional creativity. So you're going to start getting a following now. So
Thank you so much.
And you have this amazing friend, and we've been fortunate enough to bring her into Soul and Synergy as well, Tammy Ford.
Oh, yes. Her and I are on a very similar path.
You are. And so we had class last night, and we're working on journals. And so Melanie was one that came to class last night, and they created the covers for their journals. And it was just amazing. I walked into the room and you could just feel the energy, not I don't want to say shifting, but flowing. Like before I left and for the night, I went in and said goodbye and stuff. And I just stood there and I could just, like with Melanie, she had just started setting the intention. I hadn't seen it yet finished. I seen it on Facebook. And it was like, when you guys guide them through and help them do these things, it's not, I can't even, it's not disperse. It's like making the energy flow within. Does that make sense?
If we create the space for us to fully connect in a safe place to flow and express, then you're cultivating this vortex, this vortex of energy where it's just divine energy flowing through each of us. When we can express that freely is really important.
Yeah, it was really cool. What does Ward say?
And we are at the bottom of the hour here.
Yeah.
But
what does Ward say before we? Ward, he is new for us. He just joined us.
Are we able to feel his brightness from above? Will we know it's real, the rainbow, and its love? Will it bring us peace when it transits? Oh, it's more of a passage.
Oh, okay. All right.
Than anything else. Well, Tanya, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure we'll more than likely have you coming back in the coming months. And really anxious to see you on Sunday.
Yeah.
And we'll talk more about that. So thank you again for coming on the show, and we'll take a little break and come back for dragon readings
or whatever else happens.
May I end our session today with a peaceful chime?
Yes,
yeah,
please.
All right. So just take a nice deep breath and allow yourself to breathe it in. Thank you both so much for inviting me here and helping me get seen in the community.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
More to come. So
awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we'll go for a break, and we'll be back with Terry and Dragon readings.
Or whatever happens.
Or whatever happens. All right. Be back in a few minutes.
Bye, Tanya.
Bye.
Bye.
Want to keep up with the latest at the station? How about catch up on your favorite shows on the go? Download the free WLTK-DB mobile app on the App Store and Google Play. Watch, listen, and shop right from the palm of your hand. The WLTK-DB mobile app. The truth is here and now. Get yours today.
All right, welcome back. So, so my other half has thrown me under the bus, not literally, but to do dragon readings today. So if you guys want to put yourself in the comment, I will see what comes in. But I also have some other stuff happening here. So let's see where we go. All right, so all right, Shelley. So I guess one of the things that I need to do right away before we get going on that is to thank everyone for joining us. And without you guys, we wouldn't have the show. We wouldn't be where we are today. I need to remind people about community. And I don't know, I might do this every time, but it is so important to have community and to have people that can help you in guidance, or just to come and have a bonfire with, or a cookout, or just sit and have conversation. Not everything, that's not what we're about. And I mean, that is what we're about. We're not about, yes, we have to make a living. That's with everybody. But as far as everything else, the universe will provide, and they provide for us very well. They've allowed us to be part of your life. They've allowed us to be part of a community that continues to grow, and our businesses are growing. It is something that is so special. I can't express how grateful we are to have you and everyone else out there. Veronica from the UK, thank you for joining us. So that is what, Danny, 3 continents today that we've reached?
Well,
Couple continents, but it's still amazing. It is like this platform is amazing. But anyway, so Kara, thank you. So I'm going to start with, let's see. So let's start with Shelley. For some reason today, Shelley, I see a black dragon for you today. Now, when I see black, does not mean bad at all. It actually means protection. It means that that you may be feeling a little unsafe. That there's situations that are maybe arising today that you may feel you need a little more protection from the dragons or the universe to help you get through it today. It isn't. It's not a bad thing, and they want me to tell you that here we go, and they want me to tell you that you are safe and you are being protected, and that you have an amazing future coming up. I know you went through some hardship in the last couple months, and things have happened, but the rest of your journey is going to be so amazing. You have a few months of getting things lined up, but once you get it figured out, it'll all happen. It'll happen for you. There is so many comments, guys. I appreciate this. I'm just trying to feed or get through them. So MKVUK, it says a card for Mary, please. So Mary, I don't do the cards. That would be Danny when he does his stuff. And next week, I'm going to throw him in, and he's going to do cards the last half hour. So anyways, so for this, let's, I'll give you a dragon reading for this time anyways. And so I see this dragon that comes in as like a pinkish, like a rose quartz almost, holding a rose quartz now actually. So rose quartz is your color. It feels like you're lacking in something. Maybe you're lacking in love from a relationship or something on that order. Like, I don't want to say a breakup, but just something on that like maybe you're feeling disconnected from somebody that you've been with for a while. And when I talk about relationships, we're not talking necessarily about, significant others. It can be a friend relationship or, a family relationship or whatever. But, just know that you're loved and that, and they're saying like, make that connection again, just reach out, it doesn't have to be nothing specific. Just, if you're feeling disconnected, just say hello to that person. Thank you, Shelley. Oh, hon, I'm sorry. Yeah. So let's go there. So I don't normally do this, but on the radio, but I'm going to say, let's go there. Mary replies that I lost my daughter to cancer. Oh yeah. So they're just telling me that when earlier in the show, when I was tuning into somebody that had a lot of grief and was very sad, it was Mary. And it must have been about the time she tuned in to the show itself. So yeah. So just, they keep talking about love, that her energy is still with you. And it really, truly, they make me feel like that already, that you feel that energy around you, that you're struggling to have conversations with her, but please have conversations. Don't, just put it out there, I feel like you're picking out dresses or something, like those were things that you love to do together, maybe go shopping together and stuff, do the same. Just because she isn't here in the physical world doesn't mean she's not here in the energetic world for you. I hope that helps. She it feels like I don't know, she would put her hand somewhere, like they're showing me her like putting her hand on your knee when she's trying to comfort you. So yeah, so maybe feel that when you feel that energy come in and maybe you feel that pressure on your knee, she's around you. And I don't know why they're showing me, that's not a tulip. What is that? Irises. Yeah, they're showing me irises. So, yeah, I hope that helps, hon. Again, I'm sorry for your loss. All right. So, Kara, hope I'm saying that right. Kara, maybe Kara. Okay. So now, remembering when I do these readings, this is for now. This is kind of like my divination for you. So it's not necessarily always the dragon that is with you and all these kind of things that are happening, but this is what they're showing me to do a reading with, like maybe like a divination tool of some sort or whatever. Oh, that's interesting. So, okay. So Kara, your dragon comes through is green. There's two things with green. One is money, of course, and who doesn't have the want for more? And the other thing is heart chakra. And they keep talking about manifestation, like you're trying to manifest something in your world. Truly feel like it's like maybe you're trying to manifest money and like you need more to of course come into your life, but it also feels like heart chakra. It feels like that's a good place for you to work. If you're not familiar with heart chakra, with the chakra system, learn and do some research on the chakra system. It is what we use in the Reiki Reiki, it is the energy systems within your body that we balance out every time we do a session with people, making sure that they're flowing and they're in alignment. Yeah, and relax a little bit. You have some very ups and down energies that that need to be more balanced out. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Melanie. Ward says I like your shirt, so I'll put a little put out there for the shirts. So these shirts are all positive vibration, positive word shirts that we get from Dave Anderson at Love Lingo, and I'm not sure if it's lovelingo.com or anything like that, but you can find him. He has a website out there, but just search Love Lingo, and they have all sorts of beautiful clothing lines and stuff with these positive words on them. Courtney, do the dragons change? You read me a week ago, and I'm curious. So just like spirit guides and all that other stuff, different dragons come and go throughout what you need. Yep, they can change, or they can stay with you forever. So like Argon, my dragon, that is my constant companion. I shouldn't say that he doesn't leave, because of course he does, but when I need him, he's back. And I call on him to do a lot of things. When I'm teaching Energy 101 at the store there for a class, I can actually have him come in, and because he's such great mass and of size, that he can actually change the energy in the room just by showing up. So he uses things like that. But he is my worker, my co-partner. He does a lot of things with me. So and he's always present when I need him to be. Okay. All right, Ward. So a message for Ward. When I tune into you, Ward, I ask for the dragons to come through. So, buddy, I feel lost. I feel loss of direction, loss. I'm not sure where this is going to go yet. So. It doesn't feel like loss of like someone who passed or transitioned in your life. It feels like you personally feel lost in certain aspects or parts of your life. Yeah, you're trying to do. It feels like you're doing all the right things, or at least you're working on doing all the right things. Your connection. Wow, they're just all over the board with you. Will you just take a really deep breath for me? Thank you. Yeah, so here's the thing. Focus more on like one or two things and not try to learn everything at one time. Allow your guides, have those conversations, even if, I don't know if you didn't tune in the earlier part where we talked about, you know, your guides will help you and be able to get things in line for you. So have this conversation, like if I have days like you're feeling, then I'm going to read this real quick. If you hear something. Yeah. I am not seeing exactly what you're seeing right now, but what I am seeing is almost like a funnel. You need to bring things down to one or two, and that is beautiful what you just put out there. But just know that you are on the right path. That things will open up for you in a bigger way, and that your guides are there to help you, and talk to them, have conversations about where you need to go, what or even just put direction out there. Say, this is what I need to get done today. This is where I need to go today. Show me how I'm going to get there, and just allow them to take care of it for you. Yeah, Ward. Yeah, I think you have an amazing ability, and I believe that you will go amazing places if you let yourself do it and don't stand in your own way. All right, Casey. Just double checking a couple things. Pull yourself together a little bit. So with that being said, so it's like I see rubber bands, and I see you being pulled in several different directions. And here's the whole thing. You're allowing yourself to be pulled in several different directions. Maybe boundaries and those things are a really good thing that you need to learn how to work with. And I'm not talking about in the spiritual world. I'm talking about in your personal life. Like, and I can't remember if I go backwards, if you're the one that has the 3 children and everything going on, but but yeah, for sure. Walls or boundaries are not good for you. I mean, they're good for you, but you don't do them well at all, and you really need to start working them. Not only in your personal life, but in your public life as well. Maybe your work life. Quit being the pleaser. It's not beneficial for you at all. I hope, can you guys see each other's comments on here at all? So Courtney says to you, Casey, I'm not the only one. Anyways, that was amazing. So we have about 3 minutes left. Please feel free to reach out and follow us and like us on Soul and Synergy, our Facebook page. If you are not only tuning in from like the WLTK app and stuff, you can go to our website and go to Soul and Synergy Radio and actually get us on your calendar through that. You just go to the radio, scroll down a little bit, and it says calendar, and you click that, and it'll put us on your calendar. And then you get notifications 15 minutes prior to when we get going here on Friday mornings. Otherwise, if you're in the area, join us in Eau Claire at the Best Western on Sunday. The next weekend we are in Grand Rapids, Minnesota. So show might be on the road that day. I'm not sure if we're leaving Thursday night or Friday afternoon to get up there, but it's a little truck for us. So, and then where are we at? The next weekend we're off, at least from shows. And then we're in Stevens Point, Wisconsin on the 18th of February at the Elks Club. So you can find all that information on our website as well. So hope you guys have an amazing week. It was great being here with you. Love and light to everyone. Thank you for joining us. Todd. I think our backstage guy has left us. So I can't get a lead out.
The truth is here and now on WLTK-DB Talk Radio at WLTK-DB.com.